Welcome back to the most iconic world record series for Mario Kart Wii. Last time we reviewed Biohazard's DK Mountain time with a cart. If you have not seen that video, it'll be linked in the description below. Let's get into the next record for the most iconic world record series right now. Today, we'll be going over one of the most famous and iconic world records ever set in this game. The very first sub 110 on Luigi circuit by Swedish player Frostbeule. There are several reasons why this world record in particular is very iconic. For those of you who don't know, Mario Kart Wii came out close to 11 years ago now. Honestly, it's very crazy to even say that now. However, the worldwide release of this game was not on the same date. Japan would be the very first to receive the game on April 10th, 2008. A day later, Europe would get it on April 11th, and then Australia on the 24th, and lastly North America on April 27th. Frostbeule is a European player hailing from Sweden, so he started playing the game on April 11th. Frostbeule would sub 110 in the first 10 days of the European release. Now let that sink in for just a second. I really have to emphasize this point because this really explains the magnitude of how monumental this time was. In 10 days, Frost achieved one of the most notorious subs in this game's history. This is insane, especially reflecting on this achievement nearly 11 years later. If we were to look back at this time compared to today's world record, the world record has only been improved by 1 second and 46 milliseconds in nearly 11 years. And I did the math, and that means on average, this world record has only been improved by 95 milliseconds each year since the game's release. Not only that, this would be Mario Kart Wii's longest lasting world record at the time for 82 days. That's nearly 3 months right in the first 2 weeks that the game was released. That's unheard of, that's insane. This is amazing, especially the fact that the large amount of activity this game had in its first year in 2008. The second longest lasting world record at the time, before Frostbeule was beaten, was 48 days for the Rainbow Road world record. This should further solidify the magnitude of this time. Now, the first track in the track list of each Mario Kart game is historically the most time trialed track, and this is confirmed by the amount of time submitted for each track on competitive websites, such as the Mario Kart Players Page and the great feature in CTGP Revolution that shows how many ghosts are submitted for each track. I was not a competitive player in the time trial scene until mid-August 2008, but I can imagine that people who started the time trial when the game was released tried several attempts on this track. To dissect Frostbeule's time, in just 10 days, I have to say it again, in just 10 days, Frostbeule captured the concepts of this track insanely quick, including alignments into each turn and executing the shroom spot. If you look closely at the speedometer when Frostbeule exits the grass, you'll see he exited the grass at less than 80 km per hour on 2 laps, but he did exit at 84 km per hour on 1 lap. The spear's base speed when drifting is 85 km per hour, and maintaining the speed outside of the shroom saves a considerable amount of time, and he only had it on 1 lap. Frostbeule would get 1 drop wheelie, 1 good drop wheelie, 1 half wheelie, and 2 full chain wheelies in this run. Briefly, a full chain wheelie is a 1 frame input in the 60 frame per second game, where you lost the least amount of time of speed after rechaining your wheelie when it ends. Every other frame loses differing time depending on the acceleration stat of the bike you're using, so roughly 25 to 35 milliseconds per frame missed with the spear. I love Frostbeule's comment after setting this run. I think this speaks volumes. Now, I thought it would be cool to compare Frostbeule's time to the current world record today by Canadian player Cole. While this plays, I wanted to discuss further that as amazing as his time was for when it was set, I am not surprised, however, that it was done by Frostbeule. Frostbeule is known for his high-level time trials and gameplay in other racing games, such as the F-Zero series, as well as Trackmania Nations. He actually has a paste bin that I found of his accomplishments, which I've linked in the description below for those curious to look through it. He has many videos uploaded to his YouTube channel, from as far back as April 2006, almost 12 years ago. And in my research, he is actually a partnered Twitch streamer as well, where he primarily streamed the track Mania. However, he has not uploaded to YouTube in 2 years, and has not streamed in over 1 year as of today. Seeing his history of achievements makes me really wonder, honestly, how much his talent would have grown if he had played time trials in this game until even 2010 or 2011. I don't know when he stopped playing the game, but he set 18 world records from April 15th, 2008 to May 8th, 2008. I mentioned it before, but Frostbeule's time was the longest lasting world record for his time, as it stood for 82 days. Nearly 3 months. It was beaten on July 12th, 2008 by Japanese player Broom by 2 milliseconds. I would have loved to compare these two times, but unfortunately Broom's ghost data is nowhere to be found. For someone to set a world record in a game like Mario Kart, as competitive as it is, within the first week and a half of the game's history, and for it to last for almost 3 months, that is literally insane. This is definitely one of my favorite world records of all time. With the history surrounding this time, as well as the history of Frostbeule as a player himself is out of the way, let us watch this run in its entirety. Cueing nostalgia in 3, 2, 1. And that concludes this episode. I am really loving this series already, and if you guys want to see more of this content on my channel, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so already. There are so many others to review, and I cannot wait to do the next one. Thank you all so much for watching, and take care.